Oh my goodness. Wow. What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Lee Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Before I get to the game balls, I've got to say something here. You may be noticing that the fireside chat is looking a little bit different than it used to. You can start to see the bookcases over there. Now you can start to see the floor sanded out. I'm actually very, very proud of how this house worked. I remember when I did my first fireside chat on the other side there, and this place was really bad. Before I plastered the walls and things like that. It's been a lot of work getting this place together, and it's been a labor of love. And I feel very, very proud about all of it. And I have so many people to thank. My wife, my brother, my son, Jet. So many people. And it takes a lot of people to get a job done. And that's where we have to look at things as a community of helping each other out to achieve more and more. And if we would get back to remembering what made this country great was we worked together. When shit hit the fan, we came together. And I have hope that we can start doing that again in the future. Today, actually tomorrow, I have a family that's coming by here tomorrow. And this is where it's very prideful for me, and I'm telling you this. I know you want to get on to the Cowboys, but we got plenty of time for the Cowboys. But this local woman reached out to me and she said, would it be okay for my daughter to come by to see the place? She's done Ancestry.com and found out that her great-great-grandfather, that they owned this house in 1881 to 1904. And they want to come by to walk in the footsteps of their ancestors, which is kind of great. To think that this place came this close to no longer be in existence. And I'm very prideful that, people will be able to look back at their ancestors and their family and stuff and understand that their people lived here and that I'm a link in the chain. So I just wanted to share that because I am very prideful of this place and everything that's been accomplished in it. I'm very prideful of my Cowboys. And let me say this right now to any Eagle fan that says out there that the Cowboys, Seattle Seahawks, that's a losing team. You barely beat them. Pot meat kettle. Pot meat kettle. Because the Seattle Seahawks currently have the same record as the Buffalo Bills that you had to go to overtime to beat and got major help from the officials. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it because what I heard was Jalen Hurts, he was clutch down the stretch. Your defense was ass in that game. Buffalo should have won that game. My defense today was not good. And here's the thing that I've said about the Eagles. Because I've said the Eagles keep winning even though they're not playing their best games. And that is the mark of a good team. That's right, Eagles. I said you're a good team. I've said that over and over again. Something that you can't admit when it comes to the Cowboys. We went toe for toe with you when we played you in Philadelphia. Now let's see what happens when we come to our house. But on a day when our defense did not play well, we found a way to win. And see, here's what I want to understand, because I know what's going to happen tomorrow. Joy Taylor's going, well, the Cowboys, here it is. They're playing against bad teams. But see, not all bad teams are alike. And Seattle is not, they have players on the team. They've got a coach who's won a Super Bowl. There's not a whole lot of coaches that are out there right now currently coaching that have won Super Bowls, mind you. Pete Carroll's one of them. And you had a team that was desperate, that everything was on the line. They've been playing bad, and they realized if we don't turn this ship around, our season's going to end early. And see, that's what's not taken into account. You know, people, oh, the Cowboys, they got blown up. Seattle is a good team that's fighting for a playoff spot. And we've seen bad teams play well. The Commanders are a bad team. But they played well into the fourth quarter. They had a chance to win. And in overtime, they had a chance to win twice against the Eagles. So I don't want to hear shit about that. And you also have to understand that the Cowboys played 4 games in 18 days. 4 games in 18 days. This is a November to remember. So as an organization, for a team to go through and make it through those, because they won't give you any of that. They won't say, well, you know, the Cowboys, they've been playing a lot of games in a short time. They won't give you that. They'll just say, well, they're playing bad teams. Well, in the NFL, anybody can beat you. So let me start with the defense. Deron Bland was getting toasted all night long. And you sat there and you said, the guy who just won Defensive Player of the Month last year is getting beat like a redheaded stepchild. Somehow, in the end, he got himself an interception. I believe his 7th NFL leading interception on the season. It wasn't a good night. It's not a good night. But that interception was key because the defense did not stop them those first 3 quarters until that interception. The only thing that stopped Seattle early in that game was they missed a field goal. Our defense, we got to do better than this. I don't know if the team was looking past this game because Seattle had so many problems that they were looking past this game to the Eagles next week or what. Sometimes you just don't have it. And this was the night we didn't have it until the shit was on the line in the end. So Deron Bland, you get a small football. Micah Parsons, who leads the NFL by pressures by, I think the next closest person is 12. Didn't get a sack tonight, but that last play of the game for him, 4th down and 2, Geno had a hell of a night. Geno played like freaking Joe Montana. I don't know where that Geno came from, because the talk before that game was Seattle needs to find another quarterback. That Geno, last year was just an aberration. I think that's the right word. But tonight, Geno was on fire. Micah Parsons, in the end, came through. Of course, he gets a game ball. D-Law with a couple of big stops on the runs and some hits on the quarterback. D-Law gets one. Our defensive line, Osa Ndigazua had a couple of good plays in there. Hankins had some good plays. He should have been flagged, almost got flagged. It looked like he was like, bam, like longest yards, stuck his arm out and the guy falls out. The defensive line had some good plays and stuff in there, but overall the defense wasn't good. But let me get to, I'm going to run out of fire. That's all right. We're going to go in overtime. Let me go to Fergalicious. Jake Ferguson is becoming a stand-up, go-to security blanket guy for Dak Prescott. When he hurdled. He got that big-ass body up in the air and hurdled. Ferguson, who may be the best tight end we've had since a younger Jason Witten, not the last couple of years of Jason Witten, not after he came back from the Raiders, Jason Witten, but maybe like 2014, 2015 Jason Witten. I know he doesn't have the numbers there right now yet, but he's getting to that level. And as the season has progressed, he's becoming better and better. I think he had 7 or 8 catches on the day. I believe he was the second leading receiver on the offense. Boom. I don't have a big football, so everybody gets a small football. Brandon Cooks. Cooks who, People joked, why did they get Brandon Cooks? This offense is so lame. Yes, they suck. Okay. Brandon Cooks becoming a good number 2 target out there. Boom. You gotta love what he's bringing to this team. He is making moves. He's just like dancing, prancing. He's moving around. He's shaking up and all that stuff. He is becoming a weapon as well. And see, this is where you like it because Dak has so many guys he can go to that some days you're not doing well. And today, our running game, until late in the game, was not working well. Tony Pollard was not having a good game until the end. He ended up having a couple of good runs when we were trying to run out the clock. And the offensive line was struggling a bit tonight. Dak was having to run more for his life to make plays and move in the pocket and so on. And the holes weren't quite there the same way they had been against lesser teams. That's what happens when you're playing better teams. But in essence, though, the team still scored 40 points. CeeDee Lamb, who used to be in the rearview mirror way back, like 5 or 6 cars back of A.J. Brown. And that's right, I'm poking the bear right now. CeeDee Lamb has been on a tear. CeeDee Lamb, my God, CeeDee Lamb has become an absolute beast. Got another touchdown tonight, got over another 100 yards. He is becoming that dude who's catching it in traffic everywhere you go. It doesn't matter. If he's got single coverage, you just go to the man because he is a beast. CD, who's got almost 1,200 yards in the season, I believe. I think he had 1,060 going to this game, so he's almost to 1,200 yards. Should be able to beat Michael Irvin's single-season record of 1,603 yards easily. And even ran the football well. CD definitely gets a game ball. Let me say, Rain Dakota Prescott, raining touchdowns all over the NFL. Joy Taylor, I can't wait to hear what you got to say tomorrow because, you were saying, well, he doesn't lead the NFL in touchdown passes. He doesn't lead the league in completion percentage. He doesn't lead the league in, okay, all right, we hear you. Well, he leads the league right now in touchdown passes. He's up to 26 right now, and he's got 2 rushing TDs. I get it. Now, Josh Allen, he's got 24 with the same amount of games. And other teams haven't played their 12th game yet, so they have time to catch up. But getting 3 TDs when you were already in second place where you really should have been in first place because the other guy had an extra game, it's going to be hard to catch up with that. Dak Prescott, who has been an absolute positive beast, who's had, over the last 6 games, I believe, 20 TDs and 2 interceptions. And the Cowboys have won every game that they have played in November. Dak Prescott, who most explicitly should be in the conversation and one of the leading candidates for MVP, has a chance to wrestle it away from Jalen Hurts next week. Because on a day that your defense could stop nothing, the only thing that stopped them was 1 interception and a missed field goal. In a game where you had to score every time. Now, granted, we did not score every time. We did have 3 field goals, and shout out to our kicker because he gets a game ball because that guy is butter. He's the best kicker we've had in a long time. Dak Prescott is playing, without a doubt, the best in his career. And anybody who thinks that he is not one of the best quarterbacks in football right now, this year, this season, you just hate Dak Prescott for whatever reason. You have to give the man credit for being under the microscope in Dallas, having as much trash talked about him, and now even him having a baby coming up, always being micro-scrutinized beyond what any other person has. and still finding a way to thrive. Dak, you the man. I've always believed in you. I have always believed in you. From the first time I saw you playing in the Senior Bowl. And that has never wavered. You're beginning to open other people's eyes up, and I hope you continue to do that. And I feel like this season is so different than any other one. Cowboys found a way to win. The quarterback put the team on his back and willed them to win. And my final game ball, goes to you, Rasheed. Cowboys were just getting outplayed. They're getting beat like a redheaded stepchild. Then I played the clip from Rasheed. And for whatever reason, it probably is just a coincidence. But I'm not going to say it was a coincidence. I'm going to believe it was Rasheed. Rasheed said a couple of times this year, if the Cowboys go to the Super Bowl, I'm going to root for them. And I hope from up in heaven, you do that. Good people, that game wore me the hell out. The highs and the lows, my heart was just pumping and racing and everything. And I'm tired, boss. I'm real tired. And let me say, good people, if Stuart Morrison and Rasheed hadn't proved how short and how precious life is, I don't know how else to tell you. Nothing is ever guaranteed, and you have to make the most of the time that you have, because you don't know when your time is up. Make sure you tell the people you love them, because you might not get the chance again, guys. And I love y'all, even you trolls, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And God willing, I'll see you tomorrow. Before I go, I'm very proud of how this place is looking. My body hurts because I'm an old ass. But take a look. Look at those floors. 204-year-old floors. This wood took between 150 and 200 years to grow. That's 350 to 400 years. It's a long time. And look at that. Thing of beauty. I don't think of myself as the owner. I think of myself as the caretaker. At some point, just like the people that are coming to visit tomorrow, that their great-great-grandfather used to own it, now, that's going to be maybe me one day. Maybe my great-great-grandkids will come by here and say, yeah, Mark and Tracy, your great-great-grandfather, they saved that old house and helped it to live on. Have a great night, people. Peace.